So here I am. This is where I live. I don't got the fancy camera set up anymore. This is what I draw all your cartoons on. Right there. But that's not what this video is about. This is the story of my first trip to Canada. Now, this was back when I was in college, and I was so nervous about street performing and wanting to do it, and finally I convinced my friend, like, we're gonna go do street shows in Boston. So we go out to Boston, we start doing some street shows, right? And we're doing it with these breakdancers that sell drugs and drink and get stoned, like, in between shows. They're just like the worst nightmare ever. We were making like no money, but we loved it so much that we just kept going back every day. And so we lasted a whole summer, and eventually this guy, Jason Escape, was like, you guys, you gotta go to this festival, alright? There's this festival in Canada, you just show up and you can do shows. It's so much better than here. I'm like, yeah, right, that's crazy. You can't just show up to another country and do shows. He's like, I swear to you, do it. He didn't even give us an address. He gave us an intersection in a city. He said, you show up here, you stay at one of those hotels, they don't take reservations, and then what you do is the morning that the festival starts, you wait in a line, and the first 100 people in the line get passes to perform. And we're like, this is insane, this is crazy, we're totally gonna do it. So we bought the plane tickets, we fly to Canada, and while we're there, at the airport, we didn't know anybody. So I was just like, hey, can someone give us a ride? And then some dude's like, oh yeah, I'll be right back. I'll totally give you a ride. And I'm like, what? So a couple minutes pass, he's still not back. And I'm like, oh, he was just being a jerk. But then, as we're exiting the airport, he's like, hey bros, what's up? Yeah, I could totally give you a ride, but something just came up. But here's my number. In case you need anything, like, I'll totally hook you up. We ended up taking a taxi to the intersection. We got out and we stayed at this really sketchy hotel. I mean, there was stains on the floor, the kind of place that you don't close your eyes when you sleep. It was that sketch, right? And we found the festival grounds and we waited in line, and we got, most people I'd say got in line at like 9 a.m. We got in line at 11 p.m. the night before because we're like, we flew all this way, we spent our last couple bucks on this. If we get stuck here without a pass, we're screwed. So we get there at 11 p.m. We spend the night sleeping on the ground, which was actually felt a lot safer than our hotel. Slept on the ground, and then like no one else showed up until 9 a.m. Like one guy, and then a couple more started trifling in, and by like 11 a.m. there's a lot of people. And we got the passes, and then we're like, all right, now, at the time, I had this act where you use 6 folding chairs that you stack up on top of each other. And you stack up the folding chairs, and then we balance on top and juggle. It's an old circus trick that we modified to use folding chairs. And we couldn't travel with those. That's a lot of weight on the airplane. So like, oh, we'll just get chairs when we get there. No biggie. No, that was a huge mistake. We couldn't find any chairs. We didn't have a rental car because we weren't old enough to rent a car. So we took buses to the malls. We went to places called Canadian Tire and Zellers and all these Canadian outlet stores. We went to IKEA. Not a single one of them had folding chairs like we needed, which I'll draw a little diagram. It looked like this, right? Up until I went to Canada, that is what every single folding chair I had ever seen looked like. And in Canada, none of them looked like that. So we went around for a day trying to find chairs. Could not find them. And then we're like sleeping, like, what are we gonna do for our show? We don't have half our show with us. We need these chairs. And we're like, oh, what about that guy at the airport? So we call him up and like, hey man, we're trying to find these chairs, we can't find them, can you help us bring us around in the car? He's like, oh yeah bro, what's your address? I'll be there in 5 minutes. So we give him our address. He comes and picks us up, and like every single time we saw him a bunch of times. He's like, yo man, you don't need to stay at this hotel bro, like you can totally stay with me, I have a guest room. And we're like, oh man, Canadians are so nice. So he brings us around to all these stores, we can't find the chairs, it literally took like 8 hours. Can't find him. He drops us off. He's like, oh man, I'm sorry we couldn't find you, bro, but I'll send out some feelers. Hopefully find him for you. And by the way, you can totally stay with me if you want. And we're like, That's so cool. No. So the next morning we get a call and he's like, hey man, I found the chairs for you. He literally went around for like 4 more hours to every single store until he found the exact chair that we needed. Brought it to us and we're just like, oh man, Canadians are awesome. They're so nice. The stereotype is true. So throughout the week we started doing these shows and they were the biggest shows we've ever done. The best shows. Canadian audiences are amazing. But back to the first year. This was like 2005. And we were all, just wait in line, do show, wait in line. We must have done like 15 shows a day, right? And I'm so glad that we started doing that festival because some of my best friends I only see at that festival, and that literally is what kind of let me know that street performing was a viable income and a career choice, and that I keep doing this. I just kept going back to that festival. I've been there like 6 times. I've got better friends there than in the town I grew up in, which is just ridiculous to me. So the point is, take risks, right? Because if I didn't go to that festival just that one time, my whole life would be totally different. I swear to God to you. Take a risk. Take a chance. Do it. I'm gonna make some more cartoons coming up real soon. It's Alex Clark saying bye. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you what happened to the chair guy. So every couple days throughout the festival, you call somebody like, hey bros, just letting you know, glad you're here. You can always stay with me. And we never did. But on the last day of the festival, he showed up to check out our show and he watched it. He's like, hey guys, wish you stayed with me. And we're like, yeah, we know. Thanks for getting the chairs. And by that point of the festival, we had befriended some people. And this girl, Amber Lynn, was there. And she was like, oh my God. Frank, it's you. How are you doing, Frank? So they talk a little bit, and then we both go our ways and say things and stuff. And after he's gone, we're like, Amberlyn, how do you know that guy? He like brought us all around town. He keeps asking us to stay with him. What is going on? And she was all like, well, I have a feeling that I know why he was asking you to stay with him. And we're like, tell us, spill the beans. What is going on? She's like, well, I used to work in this coffee shop in the gay part of town, and he would come in every day and hit on everybody. What?